What is up, fellow nerds? I am Dave, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. This episode, we will be having a mini Theory-Palooza on Chapter 16 of The Mandalorian.
What's going on? I'm Doug, and I just want to remind you to please find it in your heart to do all the YouTube stuff, ring the bell, hit the gong, click the like button, give us 16 hearts, whatever it is that YouTube requires you to do. Please do it for us, your fellow nerds.
I'm Keith, and now on with the theories.
Here we go.
So we're going to start this off with a theory about who is going to help Din Djarin and Mando team get at Moff Gideon. Obviously, Moff Gideon has a huge Imperial cruiser, has a lot of firepower. So I think Din Djarin is going to use the knowledge of where Moff Gideon's ship is to alert Bo-Katan and her Mandalorians. And they're going to provide that distraction so Din and his crew can board the ship and rescue Grogu. Din is going to be faced, I think Din is going to be faced with the choice of he can either get Moff Gideon or rescue Grogu, and he will make the right choice.
I think that there's going to be an ultimate showdown, and I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait to see Din go up against Moff Gideon. If you guys remember, that spear survived, that spear made of Beskar, and we already saw what it could do against Ahsoka Tano's lightsabers. So if the Darksaber, which as far as we know, it's really no different than any other lightsaber, save for the fact that it's shaped a little different, it looks a little different, but it should react to Beskar the same as any other lightsaber. And if Moff Gideon pulls that out, because that seems to be his favorite toy right now, and he goes up against Din Djarin with his Darksaber, I think that spear is going to come in handy, and I think Mando is going to use it.
And you all have seen how well Mando uses a spear back in Chapter 15 when he's on the Juggernaut, and he basically takes it and throws it and knocks that guy off. So I think they are setting us up to see that final showdown between Gideon and Din with the Darksaber and the Beskar spear. And while we're speaking of Beskar, I do think we are going to see the Dark Troopers again in the season finale of season 2, and that they are going to be made out of Beskar. And they're going to be resistant to blaster fire and lightsabers if Ahsoka does show up during this at all. Because I think we all know Moff Gideon knows more about Mandalore and their history than really any non-Mandalorian out there.
I noticed you brought up Ahsoka there, Keith. That is a great segue into my next theory. I think that Din is going to round out his team. He's going to round out his crew, his adventuring party for this awesome little D&D game that is The Mandalorian. I think he's going to grab up Ahsoka Tano in some way. He's going to contact her, and he's going to get her on his side in order to help get Grogu back. I think she's going to be kind of, he's seen her fight. He knows what she can do. And I think he's hoping to have her sort of help him out in going up against all of the stormtroopers, all of the dark troopers, all of the other forces that are aboard Moff Gideon's gigantic ship. You've seen how big that is, flying through space. I think he's going to need all the help that he can get.
And I do think that Moff Gideon will lose Grogu back to Din. He will be back in the care of, his father in this series. But he is already going to have enough of Grogu's blood to complete his cloning project and get any Force-sensitive clones and maybe even possibly power himself up, setting up Season 3. I have noticed that his armor is looking more and more like Darth Vader these days. And I think his final goal is to become Force-sensitive.
Yeah, and I've just enjoyed watching the show so much, and I've had my predictions that I've been right on, like Boba Fett and Tatooine. I was right on, but I've enjoyed watching the show so much that I don't like to guess where it's going. But I think you're right. There's going to be a big battle at the end. I agree that Moff Gideon is going to lose Grogu back to Mando, and I agree with your theory. And I just can't wait to see the big showdown at the end. It's going to involve that the Beskar javelin. That's what I'm going to call it. And my theories don't go very far beyond that. I just can't wait to see it.
And finally, will we see a Jedi show up to Tython to seek out Grogu after the call? I personally don't think we'll see who it is, but I have a feeling that either as a final scene or maybe a post-credit scene, we are going to see a ship land on Tython, but we won't know who it is. That way we'll have a whole year until season 3 comes out to try to decide who we think that Jedi is that came to seek out Grogu.
And what if it's an X-wing that lands on Tython? Who do you think that would be? Could be Luke, or could be Leia.
So I'm still on the fence. I haven't quite decided yet if we're going to see Grogu back in the right hands, or if they're really going to, let it hang. If we're going to find out that, Moff Gideon ends up not so much winning, but I guess winning the battles. Maybe he gets away, and by Grogu, we don't get to see him again until next season. This could be an ongoing thread that we see happening, where now Din and company have to go after Moff Gideon. He's going to be the big bad of this series, and he's got Grogu for a while. And yeah, maybe he's got all the blood that he needs for whatever it is that he's doing, whether he's trying to give himself force powers, or whether he's trying to make clones, or God, bring Palpatine back. Ugh, wish that didn't happen. But I still kind of I still fall back on this idea that I think maybe he's got other ideas for Grogu. It could be that he knows what power he's got. Maybe he's going to turn him into a little dark warrior or something.
What if? All right, this just hit me. What if they do go recruit Ahsoka, get through the battle, get Grogu back, and Ahsoka takes him with her, not to train, but to be around another force wielding entity. And then this other person, whoever replies to the Tython call, ends up following them and meeting them on the Ahsoka show. What do you think of that?
I have one more name I'm going to throw out there. First, maybe it's going to be Cal from, Fallen Order, stuff like that. But we know how much Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau like to bring legends into canon. So I'm going to throw one name out there, and you guys can discuss it. Mara Jade.
But those are our theories. We'd love to know what you guys think. Go ahead and put them down in the comments below. What are your theories on what's going to come out in the next episode? Go ahead and start a conversation. Try not to get too argumentative. We're right, so that's all you need to know. And Dave is correct. We are absolutely correct about Tatooine and Boba Fett. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for our next video.